Hello everybody, and I am back. Sorry it's taking a little bit of time to get back with a new build or anything like that in Sprocket, but as you know, I'm busy, so I try my best. And I had gotten two suggestions for Leopard 2s, one being a Leopard 2A4, and then one just being a Leopard 2 in general, any of them. So, I had already started building Leopard 2. Leopard 2A4 is generally a easy design to come up with. However, I noticed something. When I was building mine, I really wasn't happy with how mine turned out, so I decided to take a look on Sprocket Builds to see if anybody had made one, and I was going to make a similar design, like just see how they'd done the angles and everything like that for bases. And it turns out Frisky Jingles has made a Leopard 2 AV, which is a prototype Leopard 2, and the A4 coming a lot later with a different fire control system and more armor. So what I decided to do was, since his AV is perfect, now the gun, I didn't line it up correctly, but his has a 105 where mine has a 120. Some of the AVs had the L7 and then some versions had the 120. Anyways, his AV shape and everything is perfect. So what I decided to do was, since his was a prototype, is to use his as a basis to make the later version of the same tank. Where his is being a prototype, mine is a later version that got put into service. And since they're the same tank, it would just make sense for them to look the same instead of making something that looks totally different. Anyways, what I decided to do was, let's look at the armor of his really quick. Now the big thing is that the A4 has more protection than the AV did. So his 140, 130, and then 50, and then the front of the turret being 150, 200, still pretty relatively good protection wise. But the A4 having more, I decided to do just that. Add more to it, 200, 250, and on the bottom 180, 160, 70. So front on, this thing has really, really good armor. Now, if you look at Leopard 2 A4s or other games that has the A4 in it, you'll see that there is a little spot for like chemical protection on the side up here where the driver is, so I decided to make that, whereas AV didn't have that. And I took the basket idea using War Thunder's model for the A4 and then building the basket on the back of the turret with the storage and everything on the back. And since he already had a really good idea for the back where the grill exhaust is, I decided to do the exact same thing, but make it look like the A4, where it has the vents and then the lights and everything like that. So, this being 67 tons, how fast does it go? It moves. She'll scoot pretty damn fast. I'm pretty happy with that, and that's pretty much a 1500 horsepower engine is able to make this thing do that. So overall, I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. I'm going to link all of his stuff for Frisky Jingle's YouTube channel and his Sprocket build, and I'm really glad that he came up with the idea to make an AV. So when I wanted to make an A4, honestly, it just made sense, and I'm not going to, take someone's design and something like that and call it my own. No, that's not what I was doing. I'm just making a later version, and since he had the prototype of that vehicle made that looks really good, it would just make sense to take that same platform and build it into the later version of that same tank. And honestly, that makes sense. So, anyways, let's see how well it will do up against a Centurion, for example. I'm going to sit here and see how many shots it takes for him to get into me, if he'll start moving. There he goes. Now, the reload, I'm not really happy with the reload of this thing because it's 15 seconds. I need to make it better than that. And from the front, there's not much he's going to be able to do. Even if he shoots my turret ring, he's not going to be able to kill me. But I should be able just to shoot through the front of his upper plate. So the gun is pretty good on this thing too, being 120. Like I said, if I can find a way to make the reload below 10 seconds with not really taking away from the amount of penetration that the gun has, I want to do that. And if anybody knows how to do that, I'm still going to put the design up as is, but if anybody knows how to make the reload a lot faster to make it more, realistic to what it is, then please let me know and I'll update it and fix that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy my design and Frisky Jingle's design for the Leopard 2 AV. Go check him out. Go check out his design and everything like that. And I will see y'all later.